I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, February the 28th, brought to you in part by Toromox by Norbrook. Use Toromox to treat and control gastrointestinal roundworms, lungworms, cattle grubs, mites, and lice. And Toromox is proven to effectively protect cattle from reinfection. For more information, go to norbrook.com. Also, Unionville Livestock Market in north central Missouri and Creston Livestock Market in south central Iowa, both found on DVAuction.com for broadcasting their sales. Unionville Livestock Market will be having a special calf and yearling sale this coming Tuesday, March the 4th. Now up at Creston, they've got a couple of big sales coming up here this week. They've got a bred cow and heifer special here today on Friday, the 28th. That starts at 11 o'clock a.m. Get with it. Get on DVAuction and check them out. They've got several dispersals, including the Lund family. They've got 60 big fancy running age Angus cows there. Several other smaller dispersals there, but a pretty nice selection of replacements if you're interested in those. And then they're going to have a special all vaccinated calf and yearling sale coming up Wednesday, March the 5th. They've got some big consignments on there. They're probably going to have 2,500 or so. Be some of the best feeders you can find anyway. Justin Peterson's got 255 head of steers and heifers there, weighing mostly in the 800-pound range. Don and Will Gordon got 200 head of steers, weighing from 750 to 900 pounds. And then Michael Winklitz, and I'm not sure about pronunciation on that last name, but he's got 200 steers and heifers weighing from 6 to 7.5, and then several or numerous other big consignments there at Creston Livestock Market in Creston, Iowa. Check both of those sales out. Had a pivotal week and Punchy Pics, and I'm excited about the Punchy Pics, especially the Kids Corral. Best Kids Corral picks we've ever had. All three of the ones I'm going to give you could have been the winner most any month, but pivotal week last week. The weather turned around, and I mean just swapped. As cold as it was the week before and the week before that, it just turned off extremely nice. I mean top to bottom, from North Dakota all the way down to South Texas. It was shirt sleeve weather for the most part. And guys were really, looking forward to it because they'd had just dangerously frigid cold temperatures there for 2 or 3 weeks running there, and they really needed a break. Many of our sale barns were shut down for sure 1 week, and a lot of them were shut down for 2 weeks due to the extreme cold temperatures there. Not only there, but where the cattle were planning on being sent after the sale. But the market really responded well. And we saw all-time record highs on calf weights and yearling weights this past week. And I don't know, I didn't think it would turn back around that quick. Now I think we're probably going to see continually impressive, especially stocker prices and feeder prices going forward here, probably spiking about the same time they did last year, right around May and June there. But man, we just got right back with it and went back up to new heights that we had never seen before. Our beef supply in cold storage is extremely low, but our packers just continue to slash slaughter. Supposedly they're losing a little bit of money, and they can't stand that. So they've just backed it off. But you know, we're bound to turn around here with this early spring. If it continues to be warm, people are going to be getting their grills out and be demanding some of those better cuts of beef. They better get ready for that. We did see our slaughter improve this past week, maybe a tick more than what we were expecting before, but not enough to really make any big difference there. But we already this year, cattle and beef have record highs, and that's been this calendar year. In January, we saw record highs for cattle and beef. But then they retreated, and that seems like a long time ago. You know, we went under $2 a pound for fat cattle on a direct trade basis there, and we think we're sucking hind tit here, but it's not a bad market at all. Our cows and bulls are hitting new highs again, and I think they're going to break all-time record highs going forward here as we get into the warmer months and the lighter runs in your auctions all across, even down in the southeast where they really need them there. But tell you what, this is a pretty good market still. Our fat cattle are not selling as well as we would like for them to. That's a problem this industry has created for itself with all the captive supplies that your packers enjoy, and they do have pretty good leverage in the northern plains. They let a lot of that go last week when they lost so much ground. They've got to get together and start doing that again. But the heck of it is, the last 3 weeks here, they haven't been able to use that leverage because your packers have so many cattle in captive supply. They really don't need any cattle negotiated cash. Now they want to get enough just to establish the base prices for those formulas and those other AMAs, but they really don't have to have them. But if somebody wants to sell some cattle and they're not in some type of a alternative marketing program, they've got to take what's out there, and that's tough. But I'm thinking your packers will probably get aggressive here again as the temperatures start to warm up, and hopefully we won't retrace those frigid temperatures that we had there a couple of weeks ago. I want to tell you about a sale that's coming up here early next week. Buck Ridge Cattle Company, I've been talking about it, and that's my friends Mark and Logan Hayden there near Seymour, Missouri. It's going to be on Monday, March the 3rd at 2 o'clock p.m. I will be there. If you guys want to come over, they've got an excellent lunch there. And that old barn that they have the sale in is one of the coolest you've ever been in. I don't think I've ever mentioned that they do have CK6 Consulting there managing their sale. That's Wes Teeman and Chris Earl, and they're two of the best in the business, guys. And so it's going to be run right. They got 65 bulls to sell you. Mostly Angus, but they've got Limflex and Limousine. They got 12 females to sell you there. They've got free delivery. If you want to get on DVAuction.com and you live somewhere far away, they will get to a regional hub for you. Try to get them as close to your doorstep as they can. Check them out, guys. It's going to be Monday, March the 3rd. Buck Ridge Cattle Company. Also want to tell you about Livestock Risk Services. Now, we talk about him all the time. Dakota Moss there, he is getting big. He's growing and growing and growing, and he has ever since he started advertising here on the Feeder Flash. But he works closely with National Livestock, handles a lot of their protection on cattle and customers' cattle there. But he wants me to tell you about a new agent that he has. Now, he's got all these other folks in and around Oklahoma and Arkansas that have been working with him all along. But he's got a new agent. His name is Byron Bird. He's from Okeechobee, Florida. He's a younger fella, but he's not new to the business. I guarantee you, his granddad, Jim Bird, and his dad, Dan Bird, who I met here just a couple of years ago at a meeting and had a really nice visit with. They've got Oak Lake Cattle Company down in Okeechobee, and they're big order buyers. So I guarantee you Byron knows what's going on. He's been in and around it his whole life. And he is licensed in all of the Gulf of America states. So if you want to get protected, you want to know about the LRPs, get a hold of him with LivestockRiskServices.com. Let's talk about your board on Thursday. February live cattle futures were up 57 cents at $199.40. April was up $1.50 at $196.12. Your back month's up 32 to up 105. March feeder cattle up 207 at 276.45. April up 202 at 275.55. Your back months on feeder cattle up 202 to up 215. Now August is sitting at 276.92. So if you're turning some cattle out on grass, most of those will be based off that August board. If that doesn't sound too bad for you and you've got them cattle bought kind of right, you might want to get a hold of somebody and get an LRP on those cattle, because that will be near your protection price level there, guys. How about your grains? March corn down 13.5 cents a bushel at 4.64 3/4. March beans down 1 3/4 cent at 10.22 3/4. Hard red winter wheat for March down 13 3/4 at 5.71 1/4. And the grains down fairly hard there on Thursday. Fat cattle trade, we still haven't seen any negotiated trade on a direct basis to amount to hardly anything. We've seen a little bit, and it's been on the lower than last week's lower market, but not jump out of bed lower, but saw some 197 on Wednesday in Kansas. We saw a little bit of 198 in Iowa on Thursday. Not sure why people don't deliver the cattle. February live cattle spot market is 199.40. You can deliver those cattle, guys. Nebraska didn't have any live sales. They sold some dress cattle from 311 to 313. That's lower too. Didn't have any sales on Thursday in Kansas and Texas. Be interesting to see if we sell any negotiated cattle on Friday. And like I said, packers really don't need to buy any cattle in a negotiated manner. They've got so many captive supplies and they've slashed the kills so much. Box beef cutout values are lower. Choice cuts down 172 on Thursday afternoon at 311.18. Selects down 111 at 302.13. Your slaughter up through the first 4 days of the week, 457,000. Now that is 10,000 better than the previous disappointing week, but it's 33,000 less than the same week a year ago. Actual slaughter information come in 2 weeks late. Had your average dressed steer carcass weight at 954 pounds. That's up 3 pounds from the previous report, up 40 pounds from the same report a year ago. That's how we get so much beef with not very many cattle, is these huge carcasses, guys. Now I've got to give you your punchy pick of the month winner. Of course, we'll start out with the Kids Corral, and we now have Great Plains Livestock Consulting giving away a $200 Cavender's gift certificate every month for the Kids Corral winner. And maybe that's why they're so good this month. But check these Kids Corral photos out. Third place goes to Delyn Martin of Glenwood, Missouri. It's 2 degrees. They're calving heifers. They brought this little one in there for his first meal. And the kids, Kai, 5 years old, Joey, 3 years old, and baby Lily there are tickled to death to have that baby calf in the house, keeping it warm and giving it its first meal there with that bottle. And I thought that was a pretty good Kids Corral pick there. Second place goes to Annie Dorr. Everyone has to pull their weight around the farm there. She didn't say where they were from, but including pulling their weight is 6-year-old Rory, who is pulling that calf. Got the chains on, bearing down, pulling. I'd like to know whether Rory got that calf out by herself or not, but thought that was pretty punchy there for a Kids Corral pick. But I just could not resist the first place in the Kids Corral. It was sent to us by Emily Davis, and this is 7-year-old Claxton Robertson from Jacksonville, Texas. Look at him sit that bronc. Look where his feet are at. I tell you what, he wants to keep that picture. If he can do that when he's maybe 10 or 12 years older, I mean, the girls are going to be all over him. He's involved with Elite Youth Rodeo and Branded for Christ Rodeo, and he's looking to continue his career. And I think he's got an excellent chance of doing that. He knows what's going on. He knows how to sit a bronc, guys. And that's pretty punchy right there. Congratulations to Emily Davis there for winning the Kids Corral. Now our Punchy Pick of the Month contest. And of course, they're going to get all the goods. They're going to get all kinds of swag from NationalBeefWire, Feeder Flash, Beaver Feed Company in Beaver, Oklahoma, Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma. And then of course the best part of the Punchy Pick of the Month contest, winning, is the whole case of Therapiece, that revolutionary product that is scientifically proven. Third place in the Punchy Pick of the Month this month is Brandon Denton. That old Ford truck there is buried. And I thought, oh my God, how could it be buried that bad? Well, he fell in an old cistern that he didn't know was there. The ground kind of let loose and allowed for him to fall in there. It was hard to get the feed truck out, and before they could get back there and cover that up, they had a calf fall in that hole. They had to use the bale spike to get the calf out of there. That held him up. That was kind of tough there, but it was good for a Punchy pick. Third place. Second place in the Punchy Pick of the Month contest is John Asbury. In any other month they would have won, but dang it, John Asbury there is unloading heifers off the highway there close to Green Forest, Arkansas. They're using the skate gate there on that gooseneck and loading them down in there, and then I'm sure the cattle are thinking, yo, what kind of a hook and ladder deal is this? But that's the way they were doing it. Didn't have to get that truck off in the mud there, and finally got those heifers going off into the pasture where they belong. But I love that Punchy pick there from John Asbury, and I appreciate him sending that in. But the winner of the Punchy Pick of the Month contest this month is Cody Taylor. They are range branding out there, him and his wife, and they got their hounds out there. They just throw up a fire wherever they can to get those irons hot, and drag a calf over there and tie it down. His wife is kind of keeping watch for that mama cow that's probably wondering where that calf went to, and so while he gets it branded and worked there. But that's pretty punchy. I don't know where that, they didn't tell us where that was from. It has to be New Mexico or Arizona, I would think. But congratulations to Cody Taylor, and enjoy your prizes for the Punchy Pick of the Month contest winner. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance, working to protect your livelihood. Look at your real-time index on Thursday afternoon, sitting at 280.58. That was up 40 cents. We kind of caught up with being light on receipts. We got a bunch of receipts in there now, and now the market is showing the gains there at 280.58 based on an 800-pound cash auction steer. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index sitting at 279.64. Sale coming up here over the weekend. The production sale that I'm going to be working is Davis Angus. Tell you what, if you want to go to an honest sale, it is about as honest a sale that you have to run over them to raise the bid there. They will not drive one up you. I guarantee you that is as honest a sale as you've ever been to in your life. The cattle speak for themselves. It's near Foss, Oklahoma, or really Burns Flat, if you're familiar with that area there. Be a little bit east of Elk City. They got really good cattle. They're really good people. And like I said, it's not one of them sales where, if you wiggle your ear, you're going to, raise the bid $2,500. No, they're going to sell the cattle honest, and the cattle speak for themselves. Let's talk about your sales, big sales on Thursday. How about winter livestock in Pratt, Kansas? They advertised near 6,000 head. When I pulled this report, it was getting pretty late in the day on Thursday, and they had sold a little over 5,000. And the market was sharply higher, but they hadn't had a good test of the market for quite a while. But it was your National Beefwire Stick-Out Sale of the day. You look at this automated market report through Cattle Market Central. You see 342 head of 5-weight steers, average 567 at 360.19. How about 676 head of 6-weight steers, average 657 at 328.02. 637 head of 7-weight steers in Pratt, average 750 on the button at 291.15. 678 head of 8-weight steers in Pratt averaged 849 at 276.41. There were 566 head of 9-weight steers. They averaged 941 at 259.99. Look at a couple weights of heifers. 482 head of 7-weight heifers averaged 751 at 262.09, and 671 head of 8-weight heifers, Pratt, Kansas, averaged 832 with a weighted average price of 247.24. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina, Kansas, had a pretty good sale, about 4,000 head. You go back 3 weeks ago, the last time they had a test, and the market was $10 to $15 higher. Look at some individual quotes from all around. How about Mitchell Livestock Marketing in Mitchell, South Dakota? They sell 80 head of big steers, weigh 1021, bring 256.75. How about Napoleon, North Dakota Livestock? Sells 67 steers, weight 817 at 291. That'll pull your index levels up. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday in your Macrosin, no BS, top quote for the day is another new high for me. I've never seen cattle at this weight selling this kind of money. Ogallala Livestock Auction in Ogallala, Nebraska sells 100 head of 590-pound steers, bring 392. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.